Hey, what's up, Shivan? Siobhan? Hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Welcome. That's a goof. I had my mic off. What a goof, Shiv. But hey, this is about personal finance. So I educate people and help them get better with their money. What sort of questions you got? All right. Also, the camera's probably too small, huh? Let me fix the camera here real quick. All right, that's probably better. That's better. All right, let's see here. All right, I'm 25 years old and planning to start some investment. What do you suggest? So, before you even think about investing, you got to have a couple of steps taken care of first. You got to have a budget so you know where every dollar is coming and going. Then you need an emergency fund. I think 12 months of basic living expenses is the ideal amount of an emergency fund that should be sitting in a high yield savings account or a money market. From there, you have to have goals for your money because you're going to invest differently for retirement than you will for a home or a car, things like that. Noel, welcome. Noel, Noel. It's probably not the first time you've heard that, Noel. So, assuming you have a budget and an emergency fund, Shiv, what would the money be for? Yeah, I get it a lot. I apologize. I get the Luke, I am your father a lot. Even though that's not the actual line, you know what I mean? To be honest, I don't have an emergency fund. I am paying house loan. All right. Do you have a budget? Noel Gallagher? I don't know who that is. All right, I dig it. So then, with your extra cash, are you throwing money towards? Oh, the Oasis singer. All right. Yo, what's up, Ewan? Is that like Ewan McGregor? Um, but you want to, with your budget, figure out how much excess cash flow. Hey, thanks, Ewan. I appreciate it. You want to figure out how much money you want to throw towards it. So, like, are you throwing extra money towards your mortgage, Shiv? Hit me, Noel. Have you seen my videos, Ewan? Okay, your mortgage is about 30% of your income. I'm 15. I love sports. What is the best thing for me? Well, it depends on how you love sports, right? Do you have the ability to go pro? Because it's very difficult to go pro. I loved basketball growing up, but I wasn't tall enough, fast enough, or athletic enough to do anything with it. So, what capacity do you want to be involved with sports, Noel? Let's see. Can you guys read this word clearly? Or is it backwards? I don't care about height. I'm fast and athletic. At a tournament yesterday, I cooked. Hey, let's go, Noel. Just wondering, do you have your retirement plan sorted? I know you have. Also, at what age you started investing? So, I started investing for real at like 27 years old. Technically, my grandfather gave me 30 shares of stock when I was like, I don't know, 12 or something like that, but I didn't pay attention to them. Okay, you can read that. All right, just wanted to make sure. Thank you. Um, and then, but for I didn't, and I had a 401k from a previous job. But at 27 years old, I had $18,000 to my name. That's when I started taking investing more seriously. All right, intense competitive. But yes, my retirement plan is sorted. I'm actually retired now, Shiv. So, all right, Noel, are you trying to become like a pro athlete? All right. So, what sort of questions do you have? How could I help? Hey, bro, in this game I play a lot. I put an email in it unknowingly, but I don't know the email or the password, and I have a lot of passwords. I'm If you're not sure of the email, you might be able to just do forgot password and put your username if you remember that. So I mean, you could look at being a sports agent, Noel. You gotta check back Epic and see if it works. Yeah, being a sports agent would keep you close. The other thing to do is whatever sports team you have around you, especially if you're a kid, ask if you can meet with them about future careers and then let them give you direction on what you could do. Like what education you should pursue, things like that. Later, Noel. Thanks for dropping by. My next stream will likely be tomorrow, maybe around this same time. But start building your network now, Noel. So I think it's 12:30 Eastern time, something around there. What other questions we got? Is my stream frozen? All right. Looks like we are not frozen. Confirmed. Confirmed. How to make a million from scratch? I mean, there's multiple options. You could do things like start a business or all that. You could invest over time. It all depends on the route you want to go. Like, are you working a 9 to 5? Are you trying to not work a 9 to 5? Like, what is your goal? So it depends on the route you want to go, because there are simple math answers to this. Here, I'll do an example right now. But the main issue or the main question is, how do you want to do it, right? So if you have $0 right now, let's assume 8%. We're going to do $800 monthly investments, 25 years, estimated interest rate. Just assume 8. Let's see here. Let's do 30 years. So if you there's an investing one where if you have $0 right now, you contribute $800 a month for 30 years at an assumed 8% return, compounded monthly. Let's do yearly just to make it smaller. You will have contributed $288,000. You will have gained almost $800,000 in market gains. So that's one way to do it. Another way is to figure out what skills and abilities you have that solve other people's problems. Does that make sense? Sir, good evening. I am from India. How to survive AI era for non-tech background guy. How to start from scratch. Well, manual labor will likely be good for a while. Are there possible trades like electrician, plumber, things like that can help you out? What would you do immediately after you win a lotto for 1 million? I mean, 1 million isn't enough to go through a gigantic life-changing thing. I'd honestly take the money, put taxes aside that I would owe, and then probably buy a house immediately. If I was in the house that I wanted to stay in already. Hey, what's up, Noel? If I was in the house I was in already, I would use that money and apply it towards financial goals that I was already working on and help accelerate them. What questions do you guys have? Hey, thanks, Limas. I'm a CFP professional financial advisor. I worked at Vanguard for 13 years. I'm doing this to help educate people and, um, yeah, hopefully change the world. What other questions we got? Should I put my life savings on red or black? Neither. Don't gamble your money. All you guys come in here with the gambling questions make me nervous. Kevin is back again. That's crazy. This is how you spend your life, Kevin. It's really weird. It's really weird, brother. I hope you find what you're looking for, my man. I'm a slave to the government. All right. Sounds good, brother. I want advice. Should I get married earlier or wait until I am more financially well off? It all depends, Doctor Not So Happy. Uh, there, I don't think either answer is wrong. Waiting until you are financially in a better spot is okay, but just know that the goalposts will always move. If you're waiting for a okay, now I'm good, that will never come. 73K a year, debt free, except for 12-month car loan. All right. All right. Once you get that paid off, you get that opened up here. That's the reason we people from Agartha call you people peasants. You all are evil human beings. Kevin, you're a weird dude. Um, I make so once you pay off the car, you're going to open up that cash flow. But the most important thing is getting your expenses low. Because here's the thing: kids aren't really expensive up front. You got to buy certain things. Um, some families buy more for their kids than others, but babies don't need much. Uh, Diapers, clothes. If you're breastfeeding, that makes it less expensive. But your income will grow likely as they grow. So if you don't wait, did you say how old you are? So I don't see how old you are here, but if you wait until that time comes for you to feel good about your finances, you might be in your 30s. That's when you meet somebody, and then you might not have your first kid until you're 35 or so. All right. So the situation I just described to you is me and my wife. I didn't go on my first date with my wife until I was 32. We got married when I was 33. And we had our first kid, I think, when I was 35. Yeah, 35. And we have 4 kids now. I love it. I love my life. I did what you talked about, waiting until I was better off financially. It wasn't necessarily intentionally, it's just what happened. So if you if you do that, there are benefits to it. I don't really stress about money, but there are other negatives to it, right? I'm not going to. When my youngest kid is 18, I'll be 60 or 59. You know what I mean? All right. Hey, dude, any advice on trading or crypto as a teenager? Well, I don't generally recommend day trading. Most people lose when they do that. And crypto, I think, is for the right person. It is extremely volatile. Uh, it's not to say it can't go to the moon, as the kids say, but it is. People have to understand what it is and why they're buying it and what they hope it's going to do in their portfolio, and really understand how it moves in the market. Crypto is highly unstable. Have you ever chugged a bottle of vodka? No, I have not. I have not chugged a bottle of vodka. Wouldn't that kill you? Sip. Is that like a automatic investment plan? Happy name pop. Comes in asking about chugging a bottle of vodka and dips. All right, I appreciate you. I love your beard. Wish I had one. Thanks, Fishy Boy. It's actually longer too than it looks. But how much of this do you have, Fishy? Some people, I like being bald, but some people would never trade my situation. Man, see, I'm thinking AIP, automatic investment plan. What is SIP? Happy name pop. I have a small auto repair shop, so 70K ish on the average net after investing 20 back into the shop, so I never know when to pursue the marriage step. I just do it, man. I just do it. Oh yeah. I put my head in the Shino Ballo every day. Every day, you know what I mean? If you guys know where the Shino Ballo reference is, you'll make me smile. But honestly, I wouldn't be closed off to it. If I can give you a piece of dating advice, it would be to be friends with everybody. Be friends with all the ladies with zero intentions. And when it clicks, it clicks. How much is your free advice cost? It's free. I don't have any classes or products to sell people. Our main goal here is to help people get better with their money. Oh my, that a long beard. Well, I'm just 17, so I don't got that adult type of beard that you have. Hey, at 17, I didn't either. You know what I mean? I want to create a strong portfolio. Any advice or basics? Yeah, before you get into investing, you need a budget and an emergency fund. I think 12 months of basic living expenses. I don't think you should gamble. I want to answer that one real quick. But it is a real question, but it's free. I'm free advice guy. I literally have no. Hey, let's go, The Simpsons. Yeah. But yeah, I literally have no products or classes to sell you. I'm not trying to upsell you and get you to buy something so you can get something. Everything I do is for free. So I think you should have 12 months of basic living expenses, harsh. And then from there, you need goals for your money. A strong portfolio is one that you can sleep with at night. It gives you a peace of mind. You're comfortable with the volatility. You're not going to be concerned what happens day to day because you have a long-term plan for it. You know what I mean? You look like Kratos, brother. Let's go. Ah! What a weird question. What a weird question. Auto Rato. But yeah, hey, thanks for the sub, Jeremiah. I'm putting out a new YouTube video. Wait a second, what was that? Alert box is off. Let me move that bad boy. There we go. That actually has this as the background. I'm trying something new. I'm actually kind of nervous about it. What's your job? This is my job, Fishy Boy. I'm a CFP professional financial advisor. I'm a fiduciary, which means I have to do what's in your best interest. I worked at Vanguard for 13 years, but I quit that so I could do this. 5,000 USD to quickly invest. What would you do with it? Well, when you say quickly invest, what do you mean? Like you're trying to turn around and make money as quick as possible? Because that's the only way to make money quick is to take high risk, Otto. Risk that I wouldn't be comfortable. Is mutual funds an appropriate start? I think for a lot of people, mutual funds are a great way to start. I think, yep, discipline is the best way to build wealth. Keep up your investing over time. Like I just did the numbers earlier today. This is just basic, but with $0 started, $800 a month for 30 years at an assumed 8% interest rate, you'd have $1 million, over $1 million, almost 1.1. You would put in about 288,000 and you'd have about 1.1 million, right? That's pretty good. So I think an interesting way for people to start investing, especially if they're uncomfortable, is pick an amount that, no, I'm retired, Limas. Sorry, I said quit, but I retired. I retired at 40 years old. So, but one way for people to get in, and I've seen people do this, take an amount of money that you're okay. I don't want to say losing, but sorry, I'm just going to say the plan, and we'll talk about the benefits or things later. But people will buy one share of, say, the total stock market index fund or ETF every paycheck. That way it lets them get comfortable with how it moves during the downs, during the ups. And then once they feel a certain level of comfort, then they move in the amount of money that they're comfortable moving in, if that makes sense. So Fishy, were you the one who asked this earlier? And were we talking about the automatic investment plan? See, I'm used to AIP and AWP, but I'm assuming that's systemic investment plan and systemic withdrawal plan. But I'm used to automatic investment plan and automatic withdrawal plan. But would 1.1 million be worth anything after that long of a time? It has the purchasing power of like 100K 20 years ago. I mean, that's a good question. And there's no direct answer because it all depends on what your expenses are, right? Your mortgage should hopefully be paid off. Hopefully you don't have any car debt. Now, this was, I don't know, 10 years ago, but someone was able to retire with $450,000 because she only needed about $8,000 from her portfolio every year, right? So it depends on multiple factors. But what you're saying is something you absolutely need to think about. I only bring up $1 million because people are obsessed with $1 million. So it's just a way to do it, because once you start working, especially in your real job, a career job, $800 a month becomes relatively easy, and you could generally blow way past that. Way past that, especially if you keep your expenses low. That's why everybody here needs to have a detailed budget. Everybody. Also, guys, I do have a free Patreon where we do community chats every Saturday. So if you like this conversation, tomorrow I'll be going over a market recap and questions from the community. So if you want to join that, you can. Links in my bio. Again, it's free. The only way you know what, I'm not even going to do that. It's free. It's free. I have no products or classes to sell you. I will never charge you for advice or anything like that. So one thing I do differently, though, is that if you ever want to talk as a financial advisor, I do those conversations in public, live on stream. All right, I'm going to go throw this out. Give me 1 second. And I'm back. So do you want to go over different numbers? Doctor Not So Happy? No. Like, do you want to know what it would take for you to get to 3 million, to 5 million, things like that? But essentially, you would double or triple it if you want to double or triple the investment amount. But the most important thing in your life is actually how low you can get your expenses. I don't have a specific number in mind. I just want to have a home paid off and a nice piece of land and a healthy savings account for any rainy day. I feel that, brother. If you have the first two, piece of paid off, a home that's paid off on some land, your expenses are very low, other than the rent you have to pay to the government, property tax, right? Electricity, utilities, your expenses become really low if you don't have a housing payment. That's the most expensive thing in people's lives most of the time. Most of the time. Because if you assume a withdrawal rate, you could kind of just do it backwards, right? If you know that in 30 years you need, 100,000 from your portfolio every year to live, and you only want it to be a 4% withdrawal rate, you just take that amount, divide it by 0.04. You need 2.5 million. Yo, what's up, Nihar? Welcome. Yes. I'm essentially trying to help people get better with their money. So I do live streams like this to answer questions from people. And then the content I put out are conversations with me and random people in the world about their financial questions. So either way, I'm just trying to help people get better with money. Money also depends. Tell me more. I have a house which my old man left me, but it needs a lot of work to build a family in. 120K of renovations, but at least I don't pay rent. Yeah, and you could do that over time, right? Especially because you don't have that family yet. Man, 120 though is a lot. What sort of renovations are needed? Hey, what's up, Invisible? Welcome. Actually, I think money depends upon the location and the geography where you live and where you are and the currency and the power of the country. Yeah, sure, those are factors. But at the end of the day, you just, no matter where you are, you need enough money set aside eventually. I appreciate that, Invisible. Do you have a full head of hair, though? There are some people who would never trade it. But I was blessed with a beard and a bald head. You know, I do like being bald, but I wish I would have rocked the surfer cut one time in my life. I never rocked long hair ever in my life. So, but all those things matter, Nahar. But at the end of the day, you have to have enough to be able to pull from to pay your bills. That's the main thing. If I stay, yo, thanks for the sub, Invisible. Hey, just so you guys know, I have a video coming out in this format later today, talking about different paydown methods. I'm a monk without a beard. If I stay in any other country which has less power than the US and I'm earning in dollar, then I am rich in that country, but I am an average man in that country. Complete overhaul of the foundation, the roof, the insulation, the electricity isn't up to code. The old heating system is ancient. Basically needs a build. I usually sleep in my shop to avoid it. How much would it cost for you to tear down and start from scratch? Yo, what's up, Daz? Dawes? Average in the USA? Okay. Um, I hear you, but the principles still stand regardless of where you are. There's always going to be factors that you need to factor in, but the principles are still the same. Hey, pretty soon also. Oh man, I have no I don't know if this is going to show up. All right, let's see here. Pull this out a little bit. Look at what oh, you guys can't see that. Never mind. Never mind. Never mind. In the real world, if I want to make more money, I have technologically and logically rather than emotionally. Yeah, that's true. When you're able to grow a beard, when were you able? I'm 21 and can't grow it, so patchy. I've been able to grow a goatee at least since high school. I think I had a goatee my sophomore year of high school. It's 15. No, I'm 41. I am 41, brother. I got a quick quote from a customer of mine a while ago. It would cost around 200K for demo and a new build with concrete foundations. Interesting. I honestly, instead of renovating something old, I would probably go that route. I know that's more money, but I think in the long run, you'd be happier. You know what I mean? Yeah. See, look, I still have color in my beard. For whatever reason, the beard turned gray, but the eyebrows are still black, and I still got color in the beard. But for some reason, the beard started going gray. Shortly after I got married, honestly. My wife makes a joke there. No, money does not make happiness, brother. Purpose in life makes happiness. Money maybe helps you live your purpose. But if you could somehow combine those, living your purpose while getting paid for it, that would work. Oh man, he deleted his message calling me old. Dang, bro. It's all right. Even if I was 50, it'd be all right. I plan to do this when I'm 50. I plan to do this for the rest of my life. But if money made you happy, I wouldn't have quit my job. I was making like $150,000. I was living a pretty sweet life working at Vanguard. And I could have kept going doing that, eventually making more and more money, but it just wasn't worth it. Yeah, money does make life easier. Certain things. Howdy, what's up, Dave? I think one of the things I have been blessed with is I don't have a desire for stuff. Like this phone right here is an iPhone SE from 2020. I will not upgrade my phone until it stops working. I am from America. or Arizona specifically, Dave? What do you think about MA working in a company, but he makes good money, but he didn't like 9 to 5? What is MA? A man? A manager? Where are you from, Dave? A man? No way, Dave. That's crazy. Did you just find me in your shorts feed or were you searching for finance? I'm definitely not a cowboy. I can't even pretend. I've been on a cowboy once and it was on video. Nihar? I would guess, I don't know, India or Pakistan? Randomly, sir? Let's go. But for anybody who cares, I'm a CFP professional financial advisor. I have no products or classes to sell you. I'm just trying to help people get better with their money. Super close. Hit me, Nahar. What's funny is there are a lot of people from India who come through the channel. How are they destroying it? I also don't think they are. My wife is Mexican. Because Indian has the highest population. I would just think that they wouldn't be routed to an American channel. Like, because I'll try and help people with financial principles anywhere in the world, but I would just think they'd look for somebody in India with the financial principles. Are you white yogi? I don't know if white yogi is a thing, but if you're asking me if I'm white, yes. I'm about as white as paper. Illinois here. I like it. Are you outside? So I have a friend who had a financial practice in near Chicago, but they said they were far enough away that Chicago doesn't affect them. They get Chicago money, but not Chicago lifestyle. I don't know really what that means, but can I call you White Guru? I mean, you can really call me whatever you want. What do you mean, what's wrong with my beard? What's wrong with it? What's wrong with it? You didn't explain yourself, Dave. Also, blaming an entire peoples for anything is kind of goofy. Are you just trying to be an edgy teenager, Dave Wilson, or what? What do you tell me about how to? I mean, the financial principles will get you a lot of the things that you want. You got to have a budget, an emergency fund, and then goals for your money. And then you save and invest towards those goals so that you can get the things you want with that money. There's no magic tricks. It's all right, Dave. Just chill out, brother. Just trying to have a good time in here. I don't know if you're trying to get a reaction out of me, but you're definitely not. I was raised in the wrong generation to get a reaction out of. I'm an elder millennial with a Gen X brother. There's about nothing you could do to razz me up. How does a bank make money? Well, it depends. There's something called fractional lending, but you deposit your money into a bank. With that, they're able to loan out like 10 times the amount that you have deposited to other people, and then they make interest off of that money. Who is they? Who compares them, Dave? What are we talking about? Where does snow come from? The sky. Boom! Perfect answer. Scientific. Yeah. If you want to be upset about something today, look up fractional reserve lending. There's no interest and the bank can't make money. I mean, there are other ways, but it's fractional reserve lending. So American Mexicans compare American cowboys and Mexican cowboys. God bless the USA. Yeah, but it's not just the interest. It's the fractional reserve lending. That's really where they make their money. But yes, they're able to take the money that you put in and 10 times it and then start earning interest on it by giving it to other people. It's kind of wild. Yes, God bless every human being on the planet. If tomorrow all the things were gone, I'd worked for all my life, and I had to start again with just my children and my wife. I thank my lucky stars to be living here today, 'cause the flag still stands for freedom, and they can't take that away. Sorry, guys. Sometimes I sing, and I'm proud to be an American. All right, my bad. Sometimes just say, where at least I know I'm free. Sorry, man. That's, didn't you say you were 14? I thought you said you were 14 earlier. Was that someone else? And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I'd love this land. God bless the USA. Fractional reserve lending only makes sense if they lend with interest. That's true. Yep. The interest is how they make their money, but it's significantly more because of fractional reserve lending. You, as a regular human being, can't do anything like that. That's the only voice I got, Nihar. From the lakes of Minnesota to the hills of Tennessee, across the plains of Texas, from sea to shining sea, from Detroit down to Houston, and New York to LA. Sorry, man. What do you think about our president? I don't really get into politics much, Dave. At least not on stream. It's not worth it. If you want to talk about individual stuff, but I think we've done weird things in politics where, I don't know. You're either pro your side or pro you're not. Who is just pro America? How about that? I don't care who the president is. I'm pro America. Because note, it's a paper money, and a note, just a node in which there is become from that, yeah, he has this amount of valuable things like 10 does. So I have a things that value to $10. So it's just a note. All right. It's very true. It's very true, Dr. Not So Happy. You could. But there's a mechanism built in. From the lakes of Minnesota to the hills of Tennessee, across the plains of Texas, from sea to shining sea, from Detroit down to Houston. So that's why I should buy valuable things. I'm not going to lie, I didn't follow all of that. But assets are almost always king. Assets are almost always king. If you're worried about, the value of your currency and all that sort of stuff. Assets are the hedge against inflation. Dave Wilson, 25. I'm 41. 41. Just want to invest in the money that is stable and like Bitcoin also sometimes. Bitcoin is not stable. You got to understand why you're buying Bitcoin. You know? What is Bitcoin doing today? Let's take a look. All right. U.S. markets are pumping today, huh? Everything is green. See what crypto's doing. Ooh, crypto's pretty big. Up almost up over 9% today. I have never been to Alaska. I'd like to go one day, but I've never been. I mean, it depends on where you are, Nihar. Stable is a relative term, but money markets, high yield savings accounts, those are fairly stable. The returns on them aren't amazing, but you at least get something for something pretty safe. I like to invest in slow smoked 2-pound brisket every couple of weeks. I'm sure grow on my belly reserves. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of brisket, sadly. I lived in Texas for 2 years and had some great brisket. It's not that I dislike it. I just prefer like steak. Actually, Dr. Not So Happy, if you want something that will hopefully help you and change your life, there's an app called Flip, like backflip, but 2 P's, FLIPP. Type in your zip code and then search for the food you want. That's tough, Nihar. I can't really help you out internationally, brother. I don't know what you're allowed to do, what you're not allowed to do. I don't know enough about your risk tolerance, things like that. I apologize, brother. Man, I can't believe Bitcoin dropped to like 64 something. Yo, it was down to 60 at one point. Wow. Um, I don't give blanket recommendations, Nihar, because all the things, other than you being from a different country, there's still things I have to know about people before I can give recommendations. These streams are for education and guidance. Now, through question and answer, I might be able to lead someone down a path of some investments. I'm going to get a drink real quick. I hope to come back to multiple questions. If you haven't liked the live, I would really appreciate it. It'll help get it in front of the people who need it most. But I'll be right back. I got to lean back. But yeah, right now, because it's Super Bowl week, Dr. Not So Happy, there are a bunch of steak deals. I bet you can find brisket deals right now, too. I'm going to look it up. I'm not going to do brisket myself, but... Do you play Steal a Brain Roar? No, I do not. Let's look up brisket. Man, $5 a pound. I don't know if that's good. Sam's Club, $4 a pound. I don't have a Sam's Club membership, but man, but T-bones, porterhouse, ribeyes. Well, if you check out Twitch later tonight, you'll see one of them. I play Rivals and some Valorant. I played Valorant exclusively for like 5 years. I guess not exclusively. I played Diablo 3 there for a little bit. With friends, David. With some online friends. If you were to start a small business and finance sector, then what type of service would you provide? For example, tax credit. It all depends on what your skills and interests are. You know what I mean? You could manage people's money. You could be a tax advisor, things like that. But me personally, I like being a financial advisor. Life lessons for 23 years. I mean, there are multiple lessons. Financially, spend less than you make, live like you're broke until you're rich, and have a budget. You know what I mean? Usually buy my meats from the local Amish butchers. They got great prices, and they smoke it for you? That would be probably a winner right there. Do they smoke all of it? Like if you were to grab some steaks? Would they smoke that for you? $8 a pound to not have to cook it sounds pretty good. When this stream ends, I will be moving over to another platform, TikTok, if anybody cares about that. If I had to start my career in finance, what would it be? How to start where? So it depends on what you're looking to do, Toby. Because finance is a broad field. You know what I mean? What is banned, Krishna? Yes, but the TikTok platform, one, to have access in Streamlabs for TikTok's not banned. Maybe, oh, where you are. Um, but they want you to be playing a game. So if I don't play a game on TikTok, then I lose my access to Streamlabs through TikTok, or to TikTok through Streamlabs. So I use the TikTok software itself. So the route that I took is it is weird. It is weird. Now, I could absolutely multi-stream if I were to game. And I might do that later tonight. I'm not sure. The other way to do it is a little bit scary, Doctor. If I say that I'm streaming a game on TikTok, but I'm not, I think at some point they would catch on that I'm not playing that game. It's banned in India because of security reasons. I understand that. India is not so friendly with China, right? We now in America, I believe, have switched over, and that Oracle is the person who houses and manages TikTok here. So, Toby, what I did is I started off an entry level job and worked my way up. All right, I'm going to look up steak prices here. But yeah, so I also used to. So I've been streaming on Twitch the longest, but I streamed there as a gamer first. And then I built up my following doing that. And then I switched to doing this during the days. And people who follow you for gaming don't want to follow you for this. They don't care. Valarta? What is that? That is nowhere close. Wow, $6 per pound on New York strips. That's wild. Do you think I should stay with my shop and grow it? The customer base here is limited, but the community here trusts me, and I lived here most of my life. I think there's something to be said about that. Are there ways you can monetize it outside? Like, could you add merchandise to your shop or just other ways for your shop to make money? I don't see much growth for the past 3 years. I think it would be looking for other revenue streams through the business if you are capped there. Then I forgot, what type of shop did you say it was? Like, what if you did if it's a mechanic shop, what if you had, actually, I'll wait till you tell me what kind it is, but if it's like a car mechanic shop, you could be like, I rarely see my mechanic because he's awesome. You know what I mean? Something funny like that. Spidey, I'm a 16-year-old who loves the code and want to give this year fully to skill development and be a full stack developer, but my peer and parents suggest that I shouldn't and focus on my studies. Help. Well, isn't that a form of studies? Or are you trying to say you want to quit school and do this on your own? What's up, Swap? An auto repair shop? All right. Yeah, like, could you add merchandise? Or, you know what you could do if it's not growth? I've always wondered this, and maybe it doesn't work for you, but have you ever considered like a membership where people could pay you X amount of dollars per month, but they can bring their cars in for maintenance, repairs, whatever it is, and like the warranty makes it so repairs are 50% off, but you cover maintenance through like oil change, tire rotations. That way you have consistent cash flow regardless of what's going on, and then it spikes when people need repairs. You can create merchandise, right? Something like that. How long time for the beard to grow? I don't have a specific time, unfortunately, because the beard's actually longer than this. Let's see. It's longer than the camera. But I've shaved off like 6 inches in the last, I don't know, 6 months or so. I would say probably at least 3 years. No, I want to study and give a considerable amount of time a day to learn to code. Also, I'm looking forward to get capable to build my startup without being completely dependent on AI or people. I think you're going to have to do it in your free time, Spider-Man. Metal workshop, since I have experience in the field, but I'm still crunching numbers on that. All right. Yeah, you just have to diversify your income streams. Like, what else can that shop do for you that won't hurt your other business, you know? But yeah, Spider-Man, I think you're going to have to do it in your spare time. You know what I mean? Color the beard? Nah. Just going to let it rock naturally. We've thought about doing goofy things like, goals. Like donate X amount to color the beard, stuff like that. Make it Star Spangled Banner. Every shop thinks of the membership route, but in practice, that model almost never works unless you get contracts from dealerships and renting services and such. Interesting. All right. Well, I'm glad you told me that, because I always wondered. I always wondered. Where are you from? I'm in America or Arizona, Shane McNair. Christ is risen. I agree. There's a lot of you guys who come in to streams and say that. But Jesus Christ is my Lord and Savior. Where are you from, Shane? Oh, my mouse is about to die. Let me go ahead and plug this bad boy in. I'm at 0%. Yet it's still running. There we go. Do you know about the Monastery of Orthodoxy in Arizona? I don't know about that specific one, but I know about some Orthodox churches in Arizona. Wait, feed your mouse. Don't let him die. What are we talking about? Where'd the mouse come from? Nah, we're not going to get in a religion debate here, Zaheen. But I will ask you a question. Does Islam say that what Jesus said was true? I'm just going to leave you with that question. Hey, what's up, Zeb? I don't think I'm on mute. I guess anything is possible, Beezus, but that would be really difficult. All right, so there's a philosophical question, Zeb. Do you believe in a God? Are you just agnostic? Do you believe there is a higher power? You just don't know what that higher power is? What do you think about Trump? Yo, what's up, Dia? Saying he doesn't want housing prices to come down, slap in the face of millennials and Gen Z that voted for him to make things more affordable. That is interesting, Dia. I'm not gonna lie, it is interesting. You know what I mean? I I don't know how to think about it yet, Dia. Because there are things. I mean, the housing prices have come down, but not wanting to. Was he? How do I word this? Did he speak hyperbolically? Was he trying to speak emotionally? Because housing prices have come down, but yeah, that and the promise of the 200 dividend check makes me concerned for the midterms. I think honestly, I think those checks are still going to come. They're just going to wait. All right, Zeb, there can only be one, but you never know. So, yeah, I don't know where to go from there. I believe. I believe. I believe. But we'll see. We'll see what happens because there are things going on right now. If they continue, um, whatever side people fall on this, but if people still end up leaving the country, whether involuntary or voluntary, housing prices will continue to drop. It is definitely happened, Estia. I forgot the number of people, but yeah. Funny thing, some of the Amish are adopting EV machinery and refusing combustion engine types. That is very interesting. They're still, yeah, but even the deportations that Obama said that he had, a lot of those were essentially border turnaways, not actually going into the interior. Well, Obama was in the presidency after the housing crash. He was there at the beginning of the rebound. Well, I guess he was in the middle. Because, right, he was 08 to 16. Hey, Belisarius, thank you. So that's we can't compare that because that was a possibly once in a generation housing crash. Yep. But yeah, I don't know how they do the self-reported or self-deported numbers. I have no idea. Hey, doctor, do you know why they're doing that? Because I thought the Amish didn't really use technology. I'm not going to lie, I'm super ignorant to them. Well, yeah, the housing crash was the 0809, and then it really bottomed out in like 11 and 12, and then it started rebounding. So he had some crazy rebound years in there. All the crash stuff began under Bush. And then the subsequent recovery was under Obama, I believe. Yes, it did. It migrated south, but not just for the winter. Not just for the winter. This might be TMI. I have to use the restroom real quick. Hit me with some questions. I want to come back rapid fire. Could you explain why many consider the central banking system evil? Which is one of the primary reasons many cite for their anti-Semitism. I don't know if those two things are connected, but it depends on where you come from. I can't speak for many people, but some people just say lending in and of itself is not biblical. Shouldn't take out loans, but I really think the main issue is we don't control our own money supply. It's an independent institution. I think the less moving parts, the better. To be fair, I'm ignorant about where to draw the line between, though. I lived near them for 15 years now. Yeah, that's interesting. What do you think about the Japan carry trade that seems to be collapsing right now? Are you talking about? I don't know much about the carry trade. I know they were the last place that you could go to for zero interest rate free money, and that mattered. Yeah, I'm not. I've never really heard the banking system being cited for anti-Semitism. I never heard that one before. Because they blame them for the collapse of the German mark currency. I mean, I think I'll say this out loud. I generally don't talk politics, at least not live on stream. You can catch more political talk on the Patreon streams, but blaming an entire group of people for anything feels pretty goofy. Acting as though the Jews own do things as though they aren't your neighbors and stuff like that. They aren't just regular human beings trying to make it in the world. Feels a little weird. Hey, all right, Doc. I appreciate you coming through. It's good chatting today. But this is, I think some people just have hate in their hearts and they look for any reason. Right? They hate a group of people just because. I don't know. It's interesting. Did you see which part? Because he came out and apologized. He said he was having a manic episode when that happened. Any elitist group is evil. That's what I'll say. Most of us are just, if there are 8 billion people here, 7,999,990,000 of them are people are just trying to make it in this world. There's a group of evil people in every group. You know what I mean? This stream's gonna get me. This stream's gonna get me canceled. You blame it all on Erica Kirk for what? I love when you come through, Estia. There's never a dull moment. I blame Cherry Coke. That was the breaking moment of our country. I blame Clear Pepsi. Ah, that's a good question. Now you're talking. We were talking about fractional reserve lending beforehand, but that's really the reason is they legalize fractional reserve lending, which I think was a mistake. Surge Cola. Discontinued in 2003. I think RC Cola is underrated. That's true. It's up today, though. You know what I mean? Hey, what's up, Wolves? Welcome. Hey, Sdia, did you get the alert that I was streaming, or did you just happen to see that I was streaming? Uh, so these are all personal opinions. I mean, inflation takes place because we have more money, right? The more money you have, the less, or the less, I shouldn't call it money, the more currency you have. Hey, what's up, Bleach Loaf? The more currency you have, the less value it holds. So that's there. Uh, Nothing forces the government to print more money other than their lack of control in spending. I did get an alert, but you did pop up on my front page. Let's go. Hey, I'm doing good. If I am a high school student and want to invest, what should I do? Let's say I have 10 euros. What should I do? I think for most places, you're going to have to get your parents involved to start investing, but find a company that offers minor accounts with custodians. You need to figure out what your risk tolerance is, what the goal for the money is, what the time horizon is, match all those things together, and begin investing. I'm doing well, Bleach. We got about 5 minutes left in this stream. So if you got questions, hit me up. The other reason for printing more money is that it is the world's currency. It's the world reserve currency right now. Ow. What kind of stocks? It depends on what your risk tolerance is. And stocks might not even be your bet. You know what I mean? Might not be what you're into. It's socks. So if you're in Europe, hey, what's up, Archangel? If you're in Europe, it all depends, right? Green socks that have big black spots on them, and they go above my knee. All right. I only have one pair of big socks. My in-laws got them for me. They have the American flag and eagles on them. I mean, if that's what you think, does that mean who knows what is going to react to that? Will it be defense contractors, right? Will defense contractors go up in value if that happens? Will it be the companies who will rebuild? There's too many. There's too many variables to know for sure. I don't think so, Bleach. I don't think so. What kind of superpowers do you want? Tetra, I'm not much of a beer guy. Which one tastes better to you? Teleportation would be cool. Since you're bringing that up, have you ever thought about how time travel would be impossible? Maybe the same thing with teleportation. I can just teleport into a person's room and be like, "Hi, Pookie." That would be scary. SpaceX has to be one of the biggest defense contractors. Yeah, they have to be. They're making rockets, man. Land prices in Iran have dropped significantly. Smart to buy land there via a trustee or something. It could be, but it could also continue going down. You know, Esdia, do you think they will merge with Tesla? Do you think SpaceX and Tesla will end up merging together? It's very interesting. It's very interesting. Uh, I have known that are single. I don't know any that are single. Yeah, database. Dude, I saw that. I saw that interview with. I didn't watch the whole thing. Why don't you just make friends? Honestly, don't go into any new person with the intention of dating. It just sets you up to be disappointed. Be friends with everybody, Bleach. When you click, you click. You know what I mean? Whew. I have no idea, BBB. I apologize. In Robert Kiyosaki's book, I'm a bit confused about the steps. Does everyone have to start in the rat race before becoming successful? I mean, you got kids who are successful, they create businesses early on, but generally, to get leverage, you have to have assets. So, but I've never read his book. I couldn't tell you for sure. Find new friends, Bleachloaf. There are 8 billion people on this planet. Yeah, being born rich is one of the biggest advantages you can have in life. Absolutely. That's not to say it's a guarantee of anything, but it certainly makes things easier, you know? Nah. Bleach, I promise you there are people in this world that would want to be your friend. It's about effort and finding them though. Yeah. The older the older I get, the less friends I have by choice. You just start to outgrow, and certain things matter to you more as you get older. Nah. Come on, Bleach. There's definitely people out there who would want to be your friend. My stepmom is my mom's ex best friend. Yo. What happened there, Esdia? What book would you suggest if I want to learn about finance? My favorite book about investing, and it's really stock market related, is The Little Book of Common Sense Investing by John Bogle. It'll change your life. It will change your life. Dad wanted 2 wives. Savage. Yo, that's crazy, Esdia. Sorry you had to go through that. Were you one of those people that it traumatized you and shaped your behaviors and how you looked at the world? Or did you just kind of go, well, that was crazy, and keep moving along? John C. Bogle. I think it's middle initial C. Yep, John C. Bogle. The greatest investing book of all time. You think so? You think so, BB? Should I have it with my cousin? I'm going to assume a meal and say sure. But if it's not a meal, probably not. I mean, it all depends. Where do you have the biggest edge? Is silver near a top and other rare earth isn't? Maybe. What do you mean you gained it? I want to make sure the title of the book, The Little Book of Common Sense Investing. Yes, that is the one. I read that book on 2 plane rides. On a plane ride forward and a plane ride back. Changed my whole view on investing. Sanatani Infinite. Hi, respected uncle. How was your experience at a younger age? What kind of experience? My mom said I'm special. Every mom says we're special, you know what I mean? From your first job onwards, what are some key mistakes you could avoid when saving or investing? Well, I didn't have a detailed budget. I was wasting money that didn't need to be wasted. I didn't have an emergency fund, and I didn't even start investing until I was 27. I did have a 401k, but it was invested in the money market equivalent, not the actual market, the stock market. So, yeah, that was bad. That was bad. Guys, I will be ending stream pretty soon here. Let's get our final questions out. So, do you mean about the channel? I was not. I did too many things when I started the channel. I did not. I was not consistent in my posting schedule. I was not consistent in what I was posting. I had some gaming clips in there. It was tough. Yes, it did change the way I look at investing. This is the only stream that hasn't put me in timeout. Listen, man, people are allowed to be quirky. If you start being mean or disrespectful, or it seems like related to financial advice, what are some advices? I mean, it's the 5 steps to financial success. Begin, budget, emergency fund, goals, investing and saving, and then navigating your life changes. What is my favorite restaurant? It's a place in Texas called Brizal. That is my favorite restaurant, hands down. It's a Brazilian steakhouse. It is awesome. Are you doing okay, Bleach? From human to human, you all right? Have I read the Bitcoin Standard? I have not. Hey, so people keep asking about SIP here. Is that the systemic investment plan? Because I'm used to it being called AIP, Automatic Investment Plan. By the way, what'd you eat today? I've had eggs and bacon. I don't know if real estate is the number one or has been the number one investment niche. I'm asking Bleach Loaf. I just want to make sure you're all right. Hey, what's up, Pickle Demon? Your avatar really is a demon pickle. That's wild. So, Halkuva, assuming it's an automatic plan for investing, the reason it's good for some people is just because money's automatically going in. You're not thinking about it. It's just automatically doing it. Pokemon cards have been the best investment. That's not enough food for your mental health. I mean, I eat quite a bit of it. I feel pretty good. I don't have anything like that. I'm more of a buy the entire market and ride it. I don't really like to get into specific individual stocks or investments. No doubt it was going to be Bleach Loaf. I have 4 eggs every morning for breakfast. How do you cook them, Esdia? I've been having sunny side up eggs. Whoo! Should I get a degree? Jack, this is a really good question. I'm glad you asked it. A degree is worth it if you're going to get a return on your investment afterwards. Research your degree before spending money on it, especially if you're going to get student loans. Make sure it's going to be worth it in a field that's going to pay you handsomely. If I want to start an open air gym, should I use my savings? Should I take out a loan? I mean, it depends. Do you have enough savings to do it? Because if you're in a loan, that means you have a minimum amount you have to pay every single month. Yeah, Sunday set up my favorite and 1 piece of toast. Nice. Yeah, I'm on the carnivore train right now, so it's all just meat. I really want to understand this. I often feel like my bad personal finances are because of my faith, that I'm not good enough, and that's why I'm struggling with money. A lot of the time, people struggle with money because the education isn't there. And that's why Free Advice Guy is here for the financial education. Oh, yeah, I wanted to try this. I didn't do this earlier. Hold on a second. Video capture device. Whoa. Control Z. Control Z. Why is it doing that? Why is it doing this? I take it all back. I don't know what's... Oh, that's why. What a goof. What a goof. All right, let's see here. Yeah, but some tell me debt is better since the value of money is the highest right now, and others say debt is sort of a trap. Listen, it depends on the type of person you are. I don't like using leverage. That's just me. But there are some people who are very successful with leverage. You got to do it. Well, who are you talking to, Bleach Loaf, about your mental health, man? If I could help you, if one phrase I could give you could help, maybe it won't, but The phrase is, it doesn't matter. Whatever you're stressed out about, it doesn't matter. 1 year from now, 3 years from now, 5 years from now, the things you're stressed out about today are not the same and they move along. Like, even if you can't let go of something, you have to remember, it doesn't matter. You're going to die one day. Stop being upset about stuff now. You're going to die one day. How can I ask a difficult or opposing question to elder? It doesn't sound disrespectful and offensive. Hey, you could say something like, hey, I would like to understand your perspective on this because I think this. Would you mind sharing? Should I spend money on friends and booze? I'm young. Definitely not booze. Is the sacrifice of no booze and drugs worth it? Yes. You don't really get anything from booze and drugs. But you should budget for the things you want to do, Jack. If booze is something you want to do, and I'm just going to call it partying because I don't think you should do drugs, but or drink really. But if that's something you want to get into, you should budget for it. And then you could spend what you want on it, assuming you still have the money to hit other financial goals. I don't understand what leverage could debt bring. Isn't it a disadvantage to owe money to someone? It depends on who you talk to. Because you can use debt to generate income and live off the income. That's what people think. Yeah, divorce was horrible, but I got over it. Took a very long time. Yep. Traumatic things happen in life, but it doesn't, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter for longer than it needs to. Boom. Hey, is that better? Do you guys like not seeing the red box? Oh, wait, nobody's on the landscape version of this. Never mind. Everyone's on the portrait. Like to avoid the tax. I mean, that's one reason people do it, yeah. Because there is no tax on loans. So that's one way they do it. Sorry for out of topic question, but is it disrespectful if we have different opinions than elders? I am 15, just want to be respectful. It's not disrespectful to have different opinions. It's the way you go about those different opinions. Hey, advice guy, if you finish college and it so happened that you find other job pays better, but it isn't in your field or major to the slightest, would you take it or stay at old job that pay lower? It depends, man. Are you excited about that new job? If you're excited about that new job, who cares what your degree is in? I mean, you just apply for landscaping jobs, Bleach Loaf, you know? Ooh, you don't have tax. It's crazy. I work more than 12 hours in a day, but I still struggle financially. I'm tired. By the way, I'm in Indonesia. Earnings here are very small. Do you have a budget home? That's not what you meant. All right. So is that something I could still leverage? Probably. I don't know about your country, but probably. Should I try as hard as I can to get a U.S. job? The UK market isn't doing it. Listen, I love America. If you can get here, I say do it. I don't know if I should stay or go because skills matter a lot here. I don't want to leave it. Yeah, that makes sense. But why do you have those skills? It's to get money, right? Um, like when I have different opinions, everyone say we are elder, we have experience, even they are 1000% wrong. What should I do? Sometimes it's best to just be quiet. You don't gain anything arguing with a fool. I don't have what happened there? I don't have taxes because I'm a minor. Actually, if you earn enough money, minors still owe taxes. I was wondering, what is the... I don't know. Oh, man. Sach, you deleted your message, bro. Cian, hello? Was wondering, what is the detotated amount of WAM I should have to server? I don't know what that means, brother. Yeah, if you don't earn income, you don't owe tax. All right, guys, I think we're going to go ahead and call that a stream here. I will be back tomorrow, probably around 12:30 Eastern time, maybe a little earlier, probably earlier. Could be as early as 11:30 Eastern time. Wait, Steve deleted his message as well? What's going on here? Why is everybody deleting? Rod Singh, my YouTube is about helping people get better with money. If you want, I have videos and shorts that you can go watch, and I have a new video coming out in about 2.5 hours. Hey, God bless. But come back tomorrow. Give me a sub. Patreon's free if you'd like to join. Watch one of my videos. Give it a thumbs up. It would mean a lot, guys. We're trying to change the world, and I need your help. I need your help to change the world. So I appreciate everybody. I will be back tomorrow. I'm looking forward to everyone in here coming back tomorrow. Hey, thanks, Mohammed. Hey, like and subscribe. Appreciate it. Thanks, home. I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Chat will be live for a minute. I'm going to chat after I end the stream, but I appreciate you guys.